Alright, and we're back again to do some work on the flight sim Blue Skies. What we have here is the only level that's going to be present. Well, maybe not the only level, but the main level or area that's going to be present in the flight simulator. It's sort of a tropical island modeled after the real life Beef Island, which is part of the British Virgin Islands. I took a map of that, and the height data of that island to model this island, and I didn't really follow the geography too strictly. Like, there is actually an airport right here on Beef Island, and there are hangars on Beef Island at this position. I don't know if there's a tower at this point, but there is a terminal that looks similar to this. There are no tall buildings on Beef Island, but there is this small area, this harbor area, without the skyscrapers, but I thought it looked better with skyscrapers. And then there is this small island which does not have a lighthouse, but I thought it would look better to have one of those. And there is a settlement right here, which I roughly copied. I only had the map data without seeing what the buildings actually look like, but that's not really necessary. And then we have a settlement over here, and there are no I don't know what you call them in English, no wind turbines on that hill, but I thought it would make a good addition. And obviously there are no Easter Island moai on the British Virgin Islands, which are situated to the east of South America, I believe. Don't let me lie. And that's not where Easter Island is located. Which I think is located somewhere in southeastern Asia. So I'm taking some liberties here, and as you can see, I had some licensed assets, and I used them to create these beach and these rock and these grass textures. And I didn't test the island often enough in engine, so I'm currently having problem because maybe there isn't enough RAM allocated for all these textures that I added, because there are, well, not here, I segmented these into chunks, but on the original island there are there are a total of 47 textures, and I went from 6 textures to like 47. And that did not work out. Let's see how many this one has. These are the buildings. So it has 20 textures only, and these textures are only 8 by 1 single color images, so they're much smaller because each of these textures is 42 by 42 pixels, so that's a lot more data. And I'll have to see later if this would render in engine, but I realized that the buildings do still render in engine, and I wanted to crush them down. They currently have a face count of buildings themselves have a face count of about or is it 673 faces, and the island itself has a face count of somewhere around 680 in total. So we're at about 1196 faces, and that's a bit too much, I think. I would like to crush that down, and because maybe I still want to add some buildings later to have bigger buildings which have less polys, but are bigger and can be seen more clearly from the air, because these, for example, these have a lot of faces, but I don't gain a lot from them. So let's just start by looking at these buildings in the modeling view, and then we're going to try and see where we can save some geometry. Yeah, for example, this is not going to really show in the Saturn's resolutions from above, so we are going to try and clamp this down. A very useful tool is when you hit N and go to Tool and activate Auto Merge. When you do that and place vertices on top of each other, they merge and become one, and that's a very useful way to clean up your geometry. Now I don't know how many it saved me. Should have been a few. Should I? Oh, how many faces are we? Let's just look how many faces this one has. You can see it down here. It's 16 faces. And how much do you have? You have 12 faces. Oh, only 12. Okay. Yeah, I think we can get rid of these as well. That's 6 faces already. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so let's see. That's 10. That's a lot of faces. That really is a lot of faces. I'm going to hit G and G again to slide the edge across, and then auto merge is going to take care of the rest. And that should have saved me a lot of faces. More than 10 faces. And how many are left? No, don't limit. Not material. Let's do sharp. Oh, 8 faces. So yeah, more than half of the faces I just saved. Yeah, we're going down already. Let's see how much more I can save. Yeah, this like edge is kind of unnecessary. So let's see what we can do. Maybe I just solve this. Let's see first how much we have. 13. Well, 13 is kind of reasonable, but this is not gaining us a lot. And now we have 9. Nine is perfectly fine, but I think the face on top is unnecessary as well, but I'm going to create a try if I delete it. So we just have to look from it a very far angle. Yeah, it's not gonna do much. Let's solve this and yeah, right. Solve this as well. Then I'm going to move this up to match this, and alright. No, do we have to? No, it's fine. And this has 5 faces. Wow, that's really good. Does it have 5? Or 5? Yes, yeah, 5. Okay. Yeah, this is too much. On the other hand, I'm going to introduce new faces if I fix this. So how much is this? This is what I would create. It has 8 faces. And how much do you have? 9 faces. Okay, that's... So I don't really need to fix those because it just doesn't get me anywhere. Except, of course, because it's so small, I could just make it a a 5-phase building. Say some geometry. Right. And by the way, this is all baked lighting, so there is no actual light source. So I have flat light. This is actually with lighting from this sun, but this is flat, so I can see what it would look like on the Saturn with pre-baked lighting. And as you can see, I have all these materials set up. So the first letters mean roof, and the 6 letters and numbers behind that are the hex value of that particular color, so I can keep track of that. So this is, I also activated an option where I can see the edge angle or the face angle, so I can see what kind of degree I need to choose for degree angle I need to choose for the faces. For example, this is 125, so usually this is, if this is completely flat, it's a 90-degree angle, and if we add approximately 20 degrees, that would get us to like an angle that like a Roman roof or a roof, a very flat angle, like buildings in the Provence and southern France would have. And these higher angles would be more like your usual American European houses, and not like the houses flat roofed houses you find in very arid regions like in Italy, Spain, Greece, France. So I'm guessing 150. I'm guessing 150. No, it's already on the sloped area, so I'm going to stay with 20 degree in this particular case. And then I'm going to look which color I used here. I used the darkest roof color, so I'm going to do this here as well. And where did... Oh, okay. Then I'm going to move on. Okay. I already fixed some things over here. And this is a rather large building, which you can see from above quite clearly. And just let's have a look. How many faces we have? 15. Yeah, that's already I don't want to go over 15, 16 faces per house, so let's just keep it at that. And this is probably too much. I'll just delete all of these. Oh wait, I want to see how much I wasted on this one first. 21. Yeah, that's too much. We're gonna reduce this by more than half. Let's go ahead and make this bigger. Another very useful trick is clicking a face you want to align yourself to. If it's not aligned to the world axis, then hit Shift 7 and you can see it from the top, or whatever the top is in that particular normal. So you want to choose a very even face with straight angles. And now I'm going to select the entire roof, and the transform orientations are view. That's good. So I can just scale this all the way up. To its former size. So it's going to be more easily readable from up above. This is a flight simulator. That's sort of what you want. Okay. I've got snapping set to vertex, and it's not activated, so I have to hit Control. Hit G, hit Control to activate snapping, and then I snap to these vertices. And since I have merge vertices on, it is going to snap properly, but I still have to fix the lower vertices. And I should not be making the same mistake, so I'm going to test this in hardware as soon as I get to it. Alright. Where are we at? We started close to 1,200 faces, or yeah. By the end of this, we're going to probably already have saved like 100 faces. Like this here, this is completely unnecessary. Let's just get rid of this. We're not gonna really see that from above, so I'm going to go to this view again. Wait, no. Shift 7, then hit 8 on the numpad to rotate. Select this, hit 2 to rotate back, and G and Y, yeah, Y, to bring this into position. And then first I want to see how many I wasted here. 16 faces for such a simple shape. Didn't I have 16 faces on here as well? Why did I have... No, it was 12 only. Yeah, 12 is sort of fine. let's be reasonable. Have to model with something. Can't just have cubes. Well, these are basically glorified cubes, so. But yeah, if I wanna have like this sort of indent, I can just do it like this and have it be pronounced, so you can actually see it from above that that building has this edge. We could probably do the same thing down here. Yeah. And in turn, scale this a bit. Oh wait. Also a very good trick, I don't want to scale this on the Z-axis, which in Blender is the up axis, because these stories, or these yeah, I don't know, these stories are proportional. Like, if you want to model a building, you usually want stories of like 3.5 or 4 meters. That's somewhat appropriate. So this is 3.5, so we can add some height here. And what I can do is hit scale and then hit Shift Z, so it's only going to scale on the X and Y axis, and then I can scale it up, and you will see that the building only got broader, but it didn't get taller, which is what I wanted. And now it should be more clearly readable from above. Also important, of course, are the color. I have two types of colored roofs. These terracotta type of roofs, these blue tiles, and the gray ones are meant to be like flat roofs. So this should be fine. I guess those two are fine. I guess those two are fine. But if this building has this sort of T angle, I don't want it to be that small. Like, that T angle should count for something, so I'm going to do the same trick again and make this larger, so you can actually see it from a distance. And I can either make this larger or just reduce. Did I add sharp to that? Oh, for some reason it's not connected. Weird. No, it should work. Yeah. So let's see what we have. 24 faces. Yeah, that's no way I'm gonna let that pass. How much does this have? 12. No. We're not doing that. It looks nice, but I mean, unless it's like really large, where are we at? One 39. Yeah, so instead of adding more buildings, I could like make this building actually count. Like, put it here. Oh, what did I do? Where did my islands go? Wait, what? But it should be visible. Wait, what? What's happening? And why is this guy here? Make a new save. I'm gonna see what's going on. This should not be happening. I didn't hide anything. Odd. Let me go to a different... Huh. What did I do with this viewport? Let's drive... No, this does not reset the viewport. Great. Oh boy. No. There we go. Done it. Now it's fine again. You're seeing this, right? Wait. This is so weird. That's just how Blender is sometimes. Oh, very well. Okay. So let's do that again. Scale Shift Z. Yeah. Be reasonable. Yeah, that's reasonable. It's just too broad. Oh, yeah, and it wasn't connected again. So let's go ahead and wait, it is connected. And I have selected it by eliminating the seams. That won't work, so this should work. So let's scale, Shift Z, scale this up, see if it has a reasonable size. It does. These are just way too broad. Or are there? Yeah, they kinda are. So let's choose. I don't really have a proper face here. I can. Nope. Ah, I can do this. Okay, alright. Hey, wait, what? No. I don't really have a face I can properly snap to, so I'm going to create one. I'm going to make a flat face with these 4 vertices, and then I'm going to... Yeah, exactly, that's what I want. Alright, so now we can work with this. I need to select these faces, which is a little difficult with these camera controls, but oh wait, yeah. An easy fix for this is activating X-ray mode, and I can just click through the geometry and lock onto these faces, scale them on the X-axis, make them thinner, and do the same thing right down here. Yeah, that looks a lot more reasonable, a lot like an appropriate building. I can go ahead and delete this, turn off the X-ray mode, like, whoa, don't do that. Yeah. But now I have to adapt this building to its new terrain. So, going to select the roof, select it by seam, and then move up the roof to like, say, 7 meters. Is that enough? That's enough. So it's now a 2-story building, which is fine. And I'm going to adjust all of these vertices to better fit the terrain, because the Sega Saturn is notorious for clipping, so I don't want this to clip into the island by any unreasonable amount. That should do it. Let's hit save before something happens. Now, yeah, that's a picture, I reckon. Maybe it's kind of a lot of buildings though. So for just one little area, let me go ahead and fix this one. I select these two edges and hit F to like fill spaces in. If I select these two edges and hit F, it makes a face or poly in between, and then I've selected this one, hit Control E to mark the seam, which is important to show Blender where the material is supposed to end. Alright, should do it. How many do we have here? I should be able to get rid of a few. Going to wait. Go ahead and delete a few buildings. Yeah, that still works. That still works. So where are we? 125. Yeah. We are getting somewhere. Okay, this is a very detailed tower. It's visible from the air. Yeah, but this is probably unnecessary. Yeah, this works better. And then this thing on top of it. Like, this amount of faces is just ridiculous. 19 faces just for that goddamn thing on top. So let's go ahead and make all these 8. Let's reduce this to a more reasonable amount. Yeah, and it still looks basically the same. And I think we can reduce this further. Do another trick. Collapse. Exactly. I'm going to collapse these. And I'm going to collapse these as well. Okay, this is a menu with M. And okay. I just select these two, hit M, and hit collapse. This should work for me. Alright. Yeah, and I don't need this one anymore. Yeah, this basically still works. At this distance, there's just no difference. So, what am I left with? 10 faces, yeah, 10 faces is really good for the building that was formerly this complex. And maybe I want this guy to be a little bigger. Like he's now 17 meters tall. More than 17. Oh, he's quite tall, but still. Let's scale him up all the way. Five meters. I know he's quite tall, but he might be actually more than 1 pixel large if you get close enough. Like these two, maybe actually more than 1 pixel from above. These three are fine. They're perfectly fine. What else is there to do? This thing down here. But, oh, my camera. How much are you? $26. Well, that's quite a lot. And you're not that tall. So, what am I going to do with you? Let's try this. No problem. Let's view this from above. Oh, how do I fix this? Let's rotate. This should be fine. Yeah, it's perfectly fine if this is square. And do I really need this? At this point I can basically make this whole thing from scratch. Okay, so how large are you? 7 meters. And how tall? Oh, come on. No. Extrude. I think I have to change this to global again. Extrude that. Yeah, that was my mistake. And here we go. 20 meters. 28 meters. Well, 40 meters. That's reasonable for a lighthouse. maybe 40 would be fine as well. So let's go ahead and make this scratch. Okay. This is fine. Make a little bigger. Let's make the base 12 by 12 meters. Have it taper towards the top. What are you doing here? Wait, you're not part of this? You should be part of this. You are part of this. Oh, boy. What did I do? Let me just fix this. Alright. So let's go ahead. We need to shade this later. But for now, let's just remake the lighters. What did I say? 40 meters. Let's make this nice and tall. And scale this down to, say, 7 meters. Yeah, that's a good taper over. Yeah, but it's really tall, so it should taper properly. But now it's basically as large as a skyscraper, so that's a bit too tall for my taste. So let's this back down to 30. It's kinda massive. Yeah. Proportions just don't seem right. Well, from here they do. Yeah, this should be okay. Now, I still need to let's reduce this to 25 and then extrude to 30. This does not look as nice as the old one. Which way should I extrude? Let's assign this some color first. This one should probably be striped. This adds some geometry, but I hope this is okay. Yet now it looks kinda. How much am I wasting on this? 18. 34. The last one should probably have had more faces. It's a little blocky, but maybe I'm going to give this blue color. Yeah, that looks reasonable. I have to save some. So, what say you? How large are you two? "15 faces. That's kinda reasonable, but am I really gaining something from these? Don't really think I am. And as I said, I have to save somewhere. So I'm going to try and make this count by... How am I gonna do that? I think I know how. I am going to move this back by a lot. That isn't working. Let's set this to transformations normal. Let's set this to, and then I can do this. And now I can hit G, Shift Z. Ah, yeah, wait, but I'm still normal. To do this, I need to be in a global orientation and hit G, hit Shift Z, and now it only moves on the X and Y axis, and now I can snap this directly below this one. Connect those two and try to make a not so blocky and more interesting shape. Because this is really lame. Anyone can do stupid blocks, so let's scale this down and move this on the Y-axis. Yeah, now it's shaping up to look like something more interesting. Let's try this on the other side. Do a good scale this down. Yeah, that kind of works. I could just select this one and go ahead and move this in. Nope, that's not what I want. hit Shift 7 again, and move this one on the y-axis, but this is the global y-axis, but I want the view y-axis to properly work. I think I know what I can do. I can just dissolve. Oh no. That doesn't work. I just want to solve. No, these three edges. No, dissolve these three edges. Is there a face in there? No, there isn't. What's the matter? But this should have solved the problem. I can try to scale in these two vertices. What if I dissolve this vertex? At this point I can basically just redo the entire thing from scratch. That would probably be easier than trying to fix this. I need to keep. I want to keep this one. That's the original. Did I just merge that? No, I didn't. Okay, good. That's good. So now I can. Yeah, it worked. That's good. No. I need to go back to the viewing mode. Now I can pull this up. And let's try this again. How do I achieve this shape? I think I know how. First I'm going to make a face right here. Then... oh wait. Did not extrude on the proper z-axis. Wait, it should have extruded it. Yeah, this should be fine. I know where the problem is. It's not flat on the z-axis, that's what threw me off. So... wait. Yeah, okay. If I go into Shift Z, this doesn't work. Why? Because these should be perfectly flush on top of the other ones. So G Shift Z. Come on, snap to that. I'm very confused. It's fine. How are you? No, that's fine. 0. No. And I don't know why it's doing that. Oh well. It does not. It matters not. Hopefully, it matters not. Alright. Could this work? Nah. Let's do this instead. Almost. It's just yeah, that kind of. It's just I'm not going to get up here, am I? This should do it. And we're below 1100 faces. That's probably a good time to call it. I'm just gonna try and fix these the baked lighting. What do I have here? Okay. Okay. That makes sense. And I think Twitch Studio crashed on me. Not quite certain. Save this.